उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकवरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरणपङ्कजं परस्पर तपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्पर प्रपञ्च मातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापति स्तुमः. So we've looked at some of the examples in there are three varieties of Slesha. One is Prakrita Slesha, the second is Aprakrita Slesha, the third is Prakrita Aprakrita Slesha. For the Prakrita Slesha, we saw the example Sarvado Madhavaha Payat Saha Yogangam Adidharat iti. So it applies to both Madhavaha and Umadhavaha, as in Vishnu Paksha and Shambhu Paksha. It applies to both. It can you take it as the context because Vishnu Stuti and Shiva Stuti are intended by the Kavi in this case. Tratah kakodaraha yena drogdhapi karunatmana putana maranakhyataha sameyastu sharanam prabhu. This was the apram udaharanam that we saw. Here again, the intention of the poet is to describe both Rama, that is saha me sharanam bhavatu iti sa prabhu ityeva uktam, and who is that prabhu is qualified by certain adjectives, and all of those adjectives go to both Rama and Krishna. So this is again a Prakrita Slesha, an example of Prakrita Slesha. I think we have to start with the Aprakrita Slesha. Yeah.
I have a question on that Sarvadaha Umadava. I thought that the Sandhi is different. Like when you say
no. I'll change it. 1 minute. It's actually Sarvada Madhavaha.
Dirgha Akara. Okay, got it.
Pona Dharamena, I made that mistake and
okay.
I wanted to change that. I totally forgot to change it this time. The final PDF I'll do that. So the Trataha kakodaraha yena drogdhapi karunatmana putana maranakhyataha sameyastu sharanam prabhu yena karunatmana ramena adaraha bhayarahitaha drogdhapi kakaha rakshitaha. The crow was protected even though it was a betrayer. Puta nama pavitra namadheyaha rane yuddhe khyataha saha me sharanam bhavatu. Yena kakodaraha sarpaha kaliyaha rakshitaha. So we saw this last time. Putanayaha maranena khyataha, one who is also one who became famous by killing Putana. Saha Krishnaha me sharanam ityatra ubhayoho api Rama Krishnayoho stotavyatvena prakritatvat prakritasleshaha. Both are intended to be praised here by the Kavi. Hence both are prakrita, both meanings are prakrita. So it is called a prakrita slesha. Now, Aprakrita Sleshasya Udaharanam. He goes directly to the Udaharanam. I prefer the chart here. It's easier to show and it's easier to explain for me also. Abjena Tvanmukham Tulyam Harinahita Saktina. Here we have to look at Aprakritam. There is a Prakritam, but there is no Slesha involved with the Prakritam. Only the Aprakrita words, that is the Upamanam, are two because of the force of the meaning that the word Abja gives. Abjena, the word Abja, Apsu Jayate iti Abjaha. That can apply to Padma. It can apply to a lotus. It can also apply to the moon because the moon came out of the ocean. Apsu Jayate Kshirabdhau Kshirabdhehe jataha iti karanat chandrasyapi abjaha or abjam. It can also be called as abja. So abjena tvanmukham tulyam. Maybe abjaha, it is a pullinga padam, I'm not sure, or it is only abjam. Abjaha pullinge ki, it's also shankha. Abdiyum irukku. Seri. Tvanmukham, your face, abjena tulyam. It is equal to abja. Abja here is it is equal to both a lotus and a moon. The lotus and the moon are the upamanam, so those two are aprakrita. There is a slesha with respect to those two objects, hence it is an aprakrita slesha. What is the adjective for abjena? Harina hita saktina. Harina ahita saktina abjena tvanmukham tulyam. Your face is equal to the lotus, which has an asakti towards Surya. Suryena ahita saktihi ahita asaktihi ahita saktina irka ama ahita asaktihi yena saha tena suryena abjena tulyam. இந்த இடத்துல நான் ஏதோ தப்பு பண்றேன், ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம். Let me pause. So ahita saktihi anuragaha yena tat krita asaktihi still not see suryena asaktihi krita is okay. So ahita saktina harina abjena appo enga harina krita saktihi அங்கதான் எனக்கு where is the அன்வயான்னு யோசிக்கிறேன். Kritam karana rupa kriyayaha tu karta tatra harihi, which is Surya. So the Surya does the Sakti or Anuraga. So here what is happening is this, the Samastapadam here is different from the Samastapadam in Chandra. Here there are two words. Harina is one word, Ahita Saktina is another word. Harina has an Anvayam to Ahita. It does not connect with the Abja. This has a connection only with this Padam. So Harina Ahita Saktihi. So the Sakti or the Anuraga which has been shown by the sun. So sun shows an Anuraga, it shows or it touches with its rays. The moment it touches with its rays, the lotus blooms, and that blooming lotus is what we want to describe as equal or sadrisha to the face of the Naika. So Twan Mukham, your face is Tulyam. It is equal to the Abjam. Abjena Tulyam. It is equal. It can be compared with a lotus which possesses the Anuraga shown by Surya. Okay. Adnalda, we have to change it to Ahita Saktihi Yasya Tat Ahita Sakti Padmam Abjam Tena Padmena Abjena Tulyam Twan Mukham. Okay. Now we come to the moon's side. Chandra Pakshetu Harina Ahita Saktina is one word here. Harinena Mrigena Ahita Saktihi, that also one who has a asanga with a mriga. So Mrigena Saha, you can say Ahita Saktihi Yasya Saha or Yena Saha, one who has created a sangha, one who has by whom an association has been created with the Chandra, with the mriga, with the deer. So the moon has the deer as a kalankam. So mrigena saha ahita saktihi yena saha. Appo andha edathila it's okay to use tritiya, whereas here we have to use it as yasya saha, because that ahitam does not go with the abja, but it goes with the sun. Yeah. In the edathila ahita is an action done by the moon and it is not an action done by the harina.
Yeah, that's good, but why would Chandra want to have the kalankam in itself? It will want to repel it, right?
It gives ashrayam to the mrigam. இது வந்து அந்த மாதிரி உடனே இத நிஜமாவே சந்திரன் வந்து வாவா நான் you make me அப்படிலாம் யோசிக்க கூடாது. இது
Okay.
The moment you start analyzing alankara, it is gone. Okay. Or the beauty, then it's gone. அதுக்குள்ள போய் நோண்ட கூடாது.
So Harinena, by the deer, Ahita, once again we have a no, we don't have an Ekadesh Anvaya here, right? We don't.
There is no Ekadesh.
So inge Harinena. Okay. You don't split it as Hari. The Pratipadikam here is not Hari. The Pratipadikam here is Harina. Whereas here the Pratipadikam is actually Harina iti.
Okay, so here it is Harin as in Nakaranta.
No, Akarantam. Harinaha, Mrigaha.
Oh, Harinaha va. Oh, Harinaha va. Okay, Harinena. So it's still Tritiya. So Harinena.
Harinena saha அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கணும். Along with it wants, it is creating a sangha.
Ahita Saktihi. Okay. It is Sangha.
You can also take it as yasya saha if you take it as harinena ahita harinahita. Harinahita saktihi yasya saha chandraha. That is also possible here.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Harinena Ahita means by the deer.
It has been done by the deer.
What has been done by the deer?
Saktihi. So that becomes an adjective to sakti or sangaha, association.
Done by the deer or done with the deer?
So ரெண்டு விதமாவும் எடுத்துக்கலாங்கிறேன். So if you take it as done with the deer, then the ahita should be an action done by Chandra.
Yes.
If it is done by the deer, then it is an action done by the deer. அப்போ எங்க அன்வயம் பண்றோங்கிறது, see இந்த மாதிரி கேசஸ்லாம் you have to decide how you want to give the meaning. Sometimes it can lend to both ways. Then you can have two different ways of interpreting and giving a vigraha vakyam.
So if it was done by the deer, Harinahita Saktihi Yasya varuno illaya appo?
அதாவது இருங்க, let me take up a whiteboard and then show you. ஓஹோ, இதுல white board இப்ப எங்க தேடுவேன்? மோரே காணோம். ஓ இதுலயே, ஓகே ஓகே, இங்கேயே வரும். எங்க இருக்கு?
More and then whiteboards right there. It is right next to the more. Record whiteboards next to that.
ஓ உங்களுக்கு இருக்கு, எனக்கு இல்ல. இங்க ஏதோ ஸ்பாட்லைட் டிசேபிள் அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. That's fine. So you take it in two steps. First is harina asaktina, harinahita saktinamgarche. What is the first padam that you are going to make? What is the first samasta padam that you want to write? You want to make ahita sakti first or harinahita first?
Let's do harinahita first.
Appo harinena ahita harinahita அப்படின்னா that which has been done by the deer.
Okay.
Matkritam. Action.
Saktihi.
So it here mriga becomes the karta for karana, for the action ahita.
Okay, so harinahita sakti will be the samasta padam. Harinahita saktihi yasya sahan varno illaya appo?
Correct. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Yasya saha varno. Ade that is one type. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? The meaning there would be the association, he has the association done by the deer, just similar to this one.
Yes.
If you want to take it as yenattat, first idu pannanum. Ahita illa, you have to again ahita saktihi ahita saktihi ahita saktihi. So the association that was done along with the deer, by whom அப்படின்னு கரெக்ட் பண்ணணும்.
ஆஹிதா சக்திஹி ஏனன் வரணுமா அப்போ?
So because then ahita would be an action done by Chandra and not the moon.
ஆஹிதா சக்திஹி ஏன சஹ சந்திரஹ. So மிருகேன ஆஹிதா,
ஹரினேன
அது அங்க சேர்ந்துடணும். See அதுக்கு வந்து எவ்வளவு தூரம் I don't know if there is a சூத்திரம் which will lend to it. சஹசுபால போட்டு ஏதாவது பண்ணிக்கணும்.
So you're saying that மிருகேன would be outside the samasa in that case?
No, it is not outside the samasa. It is still within the samasa because you have it as a pratipadikam in the word.
Yeah, you can't. It's a pratipadikam, therefore it has to be in, which means ahita sakti
ஹரினேன
harina saha ahita sakti yena saha.
ஆமா, அப்படிதான் வரணும்.
காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா வருது.
இட்ஸ் ஒரே வேர்டா போடணும். அது பகுபத பகுப்ரீஹியா போட்டு யூ ஹாவ் டு சே மிருகேண சஹ ஆஹிதா சக்திஹி ஏன சஹ. அப்போதான் you can make it into one samasta padam.
And the first one was simpler. The first option was simpler.
Yes.
Okay. So but I think as far as the poetry goes, yeah, comparing the face of the lady to the lotus, which is different. The sun is awesome. Comparing it to the moon is also awesome, but saying that the moon is got a kalanka of a harina in it, it doesn't not shobate.
The only part where you can say is mriga nayani sa iti karanat mrigena asaktihi vartate tasyaha mukhe api iti. She has eyes which is as beautiful as the eyes of the deer, so she is like the moon which has the association of a deer.
Okay. And இங்க வந்து moon with association of a deer. Okay. கொஞ்சம் stretch.
வேற வழி இல்ல, அவ்வளவுதான்.
Bhuloka deers and all are scared. This Chandraloka deer is not scared.
அதுக்கும் இதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே கிடையாது.
என்ன சந்திரலோகத்துல deer? Oh my God.
சரி, நேரா நம்ம வந்து அடுத்த எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கு போயிடலாம். So this is the aparam udaharanam here. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி let's read if there is anything else in the text and then come to the aparam udaharanam. So tava mukham harina suryena ahita saktina krita asaktina abjena padmena tulyam iti ekaha arthaha. द्वितीयः अर्थः त्वन्मुखं हरिणेन मृगेण आहित सक्तिना कृतसंगेन अब्जेन चंद्रेण. Okay, he takes it as yasya saha only. I'm assuming tulyam iti द्वितीयः अर्थः. उभयोरपि पद्म चंद्रयोः उपमानत्वेन अप्रकृतत्वात् अप्रकृतश्लेषः. यस्य तेनन போட்டுக்கறனா, அத பார்க்கவே இல்ல. See, both are yasya saha, yasya tena. So I'll change it. That's easier.
That makes it easy.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sari, asyaiva aparam udaharanam neetanam akuli bhavam lubdhaihi bhuri shilimukhaihi sadrishe vanavriddhanam kamalanam twadikshane vanavriddhanam kamalanam sadrishe. Your two eyes are equal to sadrishe, are comparable to vanavriddhanam kamalanam sadrishe. They are equal to kamalani. Kamala here again, if you take it in napunsakalingam, it is padma pakshe vartate, and kamalaha in pullinga, it is a variety of deer, like how you have krishna mrigaha, idu irukku chamari ityadi. So chamaraha, adallam vandu chamara can mean both and the chamaram veesaradu irukku illaya, the chamara, or it can also mean a variety of deer. Adhe pola you have kamala, which is a type of deer also in pullingam. Kamalani in napunsakalinga is a lotus. So vanavriddhanam kamalanam, vanavriddhanam kamalanam, those lotuses which have grown in the water. Vana iti koshe jalasyapi tatra anyat shabdaha, anyaha shabdaha. So you can take it as vane vriddhani jale vriddhani vriddhim praptani iti. So the lotuses which have grown in the waters. The same when you apply it to the deer, vanavriddhanam iti chet vane vriddhaha vriddhim praptaha, that which is grown in the forest. So those deer which have grown in the forest, your eyes are equal to the lotuses which have grown in the water, and it is also equal to the deer which have grown in the forest. There is another adjective here in the first line, which is lubdhaihi bhuri shilimukhaihi akuli bhavam neetanam. Both of these have been confused. They have been rendered confused. Akuli bhavam neetaha. They have been brought to a confused state by lubdhaihi bhuri shilimukhaihi. Here, in the case of the lotus, lubdhaihi, lubdha is a greedy person. This is an adjective to shilimukha. Bhuri is bahu, eralam nartham. By many bhramara, by many bees which are lubdha, which are very greedy for the madhu, for the nectar that comes out of the lotus, these bees go and constantly buzz around the lotuses, and so the lotuses are completely confused here. Not in a sense of அதாவது ஒரு நிஜமாவே brain confusionங்கிறது இல்ல. They have lulitam iti, they have been disarranged. They are not freshly bloomed, but the bees have come and sat there, and so some petals, some parts would have been a little crushed, or the arrangement would not be as beautiful as untouched lotus. So akuli bhavam nita. It is sort of confused here in that sense. So it is disturbed. Shili mukha is a word for Brahmara. Now you take it in the dear sense, then lubdhaihi, vyadhaihi, vyadha kartribihi, shili mukhaihi, bana karanaihi, using arrows. Lubdha is also a lubdhaka, or lubdha is a word for vyadha, a hunter, because he is a person who is very greedy to have more and more. He will hunt just for the sake of it. It's not for survival, but more for the greedy, to make money out of it. Not for survival, but more to make more money. Lubdhaihi, by hunters, with using their arrows. Shili mukha, the front portion of the arrows are all shila yuktam. They are made with sharp edges, or they can also be made with stones sometimes, so that it carries and goes and embeds itself into the target, prey. The lubdaihi bhuri shili mukhaihi, by hunters using their arrows, these deers have also been rendered confused, because they see a noise around them and they are totally confused here. So akuli bhavam nita. How is it compared to the eyes here? She is also, the moment it is as if her eyes are and the marunda kangalungrolya. Her eyes are also constantly looking at who is probably looking at her, or she has beautiful eyes which are constantly roaming and trying to get in all the sights and all that. So
what were you saying about the Shili Mukha in the context of the arrow? Did you say stone at the end of the arrow?
Stone kuda irkalam, or something which is very sharp.
Something is very sharp. Okay. But நீங்க சொன்னது stone சொன்னீங்களா?
Stone மாதிரின்னு சொன்னேன், but it could also be a dart. Shiliங்கிறது, it's like a dart kind of thing in the beginning.
Yeah. So I was thinking that, from the poet's description, by saying that the petals of the lotus have been kind of disarranged or put into disarray by the bees, or by saying that the deer are looking around anxiously, it seems as if the Nayaka is looking at a Nayaki who is in a state of anxiety.
யாராவது நம்மள பாத்துற போறாளோன்னு.
Maybe she is being tormented by some unnecessary suitors.
That could also be the case, or she doesn't want to be spotted by others when she is meeting with the Nayaka. Sanketa sthanam agatasa. Annehi, she should not be seen. அப்படின்னுட்டு அவளுக்கு ஒரு பயம். That could be the case. So வேற ஏதாவது ஸ்பெஷலா போட்டிருக்காரா பார்க்கலாம். So tava ikshane lubdhaihi madulolupaihi. Lolupa is again greedy. Those who want that madhu, nectar. Bhuri shili mukaihi bahubihi brahmaraihi akuli bhavam nitanam vane jale vriddhanam vriddhim praptanam kamalanam padmanam sadrishe. Your two eyes are equal to the lotus. So the lotus is again a aprakritam, or it is the upamanam. Lubdhaihi vyadaihi shilimukaihi banaihi akuli bhavam nitanam vane aranye vriddhanam harinanam sadrishe iti padma harinayoho upamanatvena aprakritatvat. Because both are upamanam, they are not the context. It is only the context is describing the eyes of the lady. So mriga prabhede kamalaha. Now we move on to the third variety, prakrita aprakrita sleshasya udaharanam. Ucharadbhulikilalaha shushubhe vahini patihi. The prakritam here and an aprakritam. A kavi is describing the senapati. Ucharat bhuri kilalaha vahini patihi shushubhe. Vahini patihi. Vahini is a sena. So vahininam patihi, senanam patihi. Shushubhe, he shines with raktam. He shines with blood that is coming out of his body. That is, he is fought bravely. Hence, அதெல்லாம் வந்து விழுப்புண்கள்ங்கிறோம். பொன்னியின் செல்வன் பார்த்திருந்தேன்னா அதுல வரும் உங்களுக்கு. So அதனால அதுல விழுப்புண்கள்னா those are all the marks of their bravery இல்லையா? So here the Senapati is just fresh from the battle, and so his body is, the blood is also oozing out of his body. So uchcharat, udgachat, bhuri, kilalam. Kilalam is a word that can mean both raktam and udakam. In the case of Senapati, we take it as raktam, blood. Vahini pati can also go to samudra. Vahini, vahati, one who travels. So this is nadi. Nadinam patihi samudraha api uchcharat udgachat bhuri kilalam udakam yasya. He has waters which are rising, a lot of water which is rising. Probably during high tide, the waters are coming out, and the samudram, the ocean is also shining. Yeah.
Is that an implicit upama between the two that is being
Yes.
suggested? Or
There is an upamyam that is suggested here. Okay.
So okay, just to change the topic. Yeah. You said that Tamil word. Can you break it? Adu kuda samastha padam edane vizhipungal enadhu?
Vizhupungal.
Vizhu enna?
War.
Oh, war. Oh, war scars.
Battle scars.
Battle scars.
Battle scars. I see. Okay.
Vizhupun. Uchcharat udgachat bhuri kilalam shonitam. Shonitam is also raktam, blood. Yasya saha vahini patihi senapatihi shushubhe iti prakarinika. The Vyakhyata has to give us the prakarinika in such cases, because this is just a random sentence which has no other context for us to connect. So we just take this sentence because of the Vyakhyata. We know that Senapati is the prakarinika. Prakaranam, contextual meaning. Uchcharat bhuri kilalam udakam yasya saha vahininam nadinam patihi samudraha shushubhe iti aprakaranikaartha. This is the non-contextual meaning. Tathacha slishtapadanam prakrita aprakritartha gocharatvat prakrita aprakrita slesha. The slishtapada is the words which have slesha, which have double meaning, indicate both the context and the non-context. Prakrita aprakrita artha gocharatvat. It is perceptible as giving the meaning for both the context and the non-context. Hence it is called prakrita aprakrita slesham. Atra prakrita aprakritayoho sadrishyam pratiyate. The suggestive meaning here is, why do they have to take these two meanings? Why does the poet give such words which can give rise to two meanings? Then we do an upamyam, or a similarity between the context and the non-contextual. We take the context as the upameyam, upamanam as the non-context, and give the suggestion of similarity here.
It is just that in the case of the ocean, the rivers flow into the ocean, whereas in the case of the Senapati, the blood is flowing in rivers out of the Senapati.
So even if the rivers are flowing inside the samudra, in the form of waves, it actually samudra
comes out, rises out.
It rises up. It is not to do with the waters that enter into it. It's more to do with the high tide. That's why I said high tide.
Flowing out. Flowing out.
In the sense of flowing out, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That prakaranika, that is is it like tadita word, right? So what is the extra meaning out of that?
This is an adjective to the artha. So prakarane bhavaha prakaranikaha artha. The meaning that is with reference to the context.
So prakritartha iti.
Prakritartha, that is simple, but this prakaranika, that one is
prakarane vidyamana artha iti.
Koncho stylistic usage.
Okay.
Edhukku appuram tadditham padikrom. You have to use it somewhere, no? Yeah. The अपरम उदाहरणम Udayam asau udayamaruಢः कान्तिमान् रक्तमण्डलः राजा हरति लोकस्य हृदयं मृदुलैः करैः. Raja lokasya hridayam harati. The king is the prakritam here. Kavi is describing the king here. So Raja, a king, lokasya hridayam harati, he is attracting the minds of the people, of the heart of the people, with his mridulaihi karaihi, with his moderate taxes. He is a kantiman. Everything else is an adjective here. Asau, Raja. Udayam arudhaha, so abhivriddhim praptaha or rajyabhishekam kritaha saha. When do we say the king has risen? It's when he has taken up the position of a king. As soon as he takes up the position of a king, kantiman bhavati, he's also got a luster, in the sense he has a caliber, a personality. Kantiman bhavati. Rakta mandalahascha asau raja. Rakta mandalaha mandalam. Raktam mandalam yasya saha. Anuraktam rajyam. So mandalam constitutes 7 aspects. I think 7, no? Kosha, Balam, Praja, Amatya, Prakriti, adukapram the vassal kings. One more is there. I'm not so there are totally 7 angas which form a mandalam, and that Rajya mandalam is actually all of these constituents of the kingdom. Everybody seems to be rakta, who are attached to this king. So the king who has all of the components attached to him, rakta mandalam, rakta mandalaha yasya saha. So that sort of a king, because of his moderate mridulaihi karaihi, because of his moderate taxes, he is able to attract the minds of the people. Take it, the Raja is a word for Chandra, moon also. So when you take it in the sense of moon, Udayam arudhaha. Udayam arudhaha, he has risen as soon as the moon rises. Take the example of a full moon here. Kantiman, he is full of luster. Rakta mandalaha, because he is still rising, there is a redness in his mandalam, in his circumference there. So there is a slight redness as he rises. So lohitam mandalam yasya saha. Mridulaihi karaihi, his rays are also very soft on the body. It's very cool and it's also very soft. It's not intense like the sun's rays. So it is mridulaihi karaihi. Because of that, the moon is also attracting the minds of the people. Everybody loves to see the moon here. Again, it's a comparison between the two.
But the Appayam is so beautiful. It's even more beautiful. Somehow in my mind, it's much more beautiful than the previous one, and so the dhwani seems to be much more here.
That's because it's a full shloka irukku, and the context abdi irukku. Words are also more simpler and easier here. See, it's he doesn't use words like kilala and all. Kilalamla vandu ungalku, it's not a prasiddha word for water or even raktam. Whereas inge vande he uses words that we know really well, and so it's even more attractive.
So the presence of the Slesha, which is an artha alankara, doesn't impede the dhwani, right? You can still say there is dhwani in that, right?
Of course, yes. Aupamya dhwanihi. He talks about it next. Atra udayam abhivriddhim praptaha raktamandalaha anurakta prajaha. It takes mandalam as praja, but it can include all of the constituents in a rajyam. Raja nripatihi mridulaihi karaihi alpaihi grahya dhanaihi. Grahyam grinhatum yogyam, that which has to be procured from the people. So grahya dhanaihi Loka hridayam harati avarjayati iti prakaranikarthaha. This is the contextual meaning. Udayagirimarudhaha aruna mandalaha, one who has a red circumference. So, Raja Chandraha mridula kiranaihi jana hridayam akarshati iti aprakaranikarthaha, non-contextual meaning. Slishtapadanam prakrita aprakrita gocharatvat prakrita aprakrita sleshaha. It just follows the same pattern there. No. Idam atra avadheyam. You need to understand how I spoke earlier also. As we started Slesha, I talked about this. And in the middle also, we had a discussion about Bhanga Slesha and Abhanga Slesha. Idam atra avadheyam sarvado madhavaha yogangam harinasaktina ityadau paraspara vilakshanam padabhangam apekshya nanartha bodhanatvat sabhanga sleshaha. Paraspara vilakshanam, it is different from each other. When you take sarvado madhavaha, you don't break the words in the same manner for Vishnu and in the same manner for Shiva. You actually do it in a different manner. Paraspara vilakshanam. The two meanings are padabhangam apekshya. It expects padabhangam. It expects a breaking of the words which is different from each other. And nanartha bodhanat, it is capable of giving rise to different meanings, many meanings. So it is called sabhanga sleshaha. Abja kilala vahinipati prabhritishu padeshu tadrisha padabhangam anapekshya eva, without expecting a padabhanga in these examples. Anapekshya eva, without expecting that. Nanartha bodhanatvat, it is possible to convey different meanings. Hence, it is called abhanga slesha, where there is no breaking up of the words. Iti prakarantarenapi sleshasya dvaividyam. This is another type of dividing slesha. You can also have another variety of, you don't need to have prakrita, aprakrita and prakrita, prakrita. You can just say sabhanga slesha and abhanga slesha. That's it. This is another way of classifying slesha. Prakrita prakrita sleshe aprakritarthasya vyangyatvam iti keshanchit matam. Some people feel, is according to some people, or it's the opinion of certain people, that the aprakritartha, the non-contextual meaning itself, arises only in the vyangya range. Anyetu tasyapi vachyatvam angikritya prakrita aprakritayoho abhedaha sadrishyam va vyangyam iti vadanti. So in the first case, they only take the prakrita meaning and the aprakrita meaning becomes vyangya in their case. And vyangyena vyangyam. You can also have one vyangya arising out of the other vyangya. When you have the vyangya artha, which is the aprakrita artha, there is another vyangya that comes out of that, wherein you say there is an aupamyam between the prakritam and the aprakritam. There is an extra step. In the second category, anyetu, others feel that this prakrita and aprakrita both are vachyam, and abhedaha, because there is an abheda pratiti, they both are being represented by the same words, hence both are vachyam. It is the sadrishyam or the aupamyam that is vyangyam. So atra prathama mate prakrita prakrita sleshaha na udahartavyaha. If you belong to the first category, you should not even take this division at all. You directly go to Shabda Shakti Mooladhvani and take Aupamya Dhvani. You don't come to Prakrita Prakrita Slesha at all. There are only two types of Slesha, either Prakrita Slesha or Aprakrita Slesha. Or you call it as Sabhanga Slesha, Abhanga Slesha, if you feel. That's it. So you don't come enumerate a category called Prakrita Prakrita Slesha. Dvitiya mate, it goes into Shabda Shakti Mooladhvanihi na udahartabhyaha.
So the Dvitiya would be what kind of Dvani then?
1 minute. So in the Dvitiya Matam, where you accept Aupamyam, alankara, then you say you don't take it as Shabda Shakti Mooladhvani, but you take it as Vastuna Alankara Dhvani. That's all. So,
okay, Shabda Shakti, the two divisions are Shabda Shakti Mooladhvani and what is the other one? Lakshana.
Artha Shakti Mooladhvani. Ubaya, Shabdartha Shakti. So, in that you.
Shabda Shakti, that is in Dvanya Loka, I think in the beginning it stays there.
Ellakliyu varum Shabda Shakti Mooladhvani, Artha Shakti Mooladhvani.
Dvani versus Artha Shakti,
So, in this, Etad vivechanam chitramimamsayam drashtavyam. Very easy. So we can look at it there. For now, you don't need this. So, Shabda Shakti Mula Dvanihi na Udahartabhyaham garche. In the, see, the Shabda Shakti is where the Aprakritartha comes through Vyangyam. That will apply only in this case, in the first case. In the second case, the Prakritam and the Aprakritam, by the force of the word, both become Vachya. So, which means there is no Shabda Shakti at all. Some people do not even accept that Tangra. Another, the first case is a little better because you have Prakritam in the Vachyartha, then you have Aprakrita in the Vyangyartha. From this, you go into Dhvani, which is Aupamya Dhvani.
That is a two-step Dhvani?
Ama. Irklame.
The second one is just one step?
Oh, so the Aprakritartha is the first step, and then Sadrishyam becomes the second step.
Whereas in the second case, it will be just
Sadrishyam.
Sadrishyam is the actual Dhvani. But
Yeah,
what
and
was, okay.
அவளுக்கு வந்து என்னன்னா சப்த சக்தி மூலம்ங்கிறது கிடையவே கிடையாது. சப்த சக்தி மூலத்வனி is only Slesha. So they do not accept சப்த சக்தி மூலத்வனி at all.
Direct jump to the second.
அவ்வளவுதான், நேர அர்த்தத்துல தான் வருது துவனியே. You cannot have சப்த சக்தி மூலத்வனி.
So they are saying that Dhvani doesn't exist in Shabda Shakti Mula at all. Is that the statement?
Yes.
I
in
see.
the second case.
Okay.
Because if it has only Shabda Shakti, there is no nothing to extra Dhvani and all.
But I think that there was a division in the beginning of this Dhvani, this fundamental division between Shabda Shakti Mula Dhvani and something else. I forgot.
Artha Shakti Mooladhvani. You can have in Artha Shakti Mooladhvani, you have Lakshana and Vyanjana. Lakshana Mooladhvani and Vyanjana Mooladhvani.
Lakshana Mooladhvani and Vyanjana Mooladhvani. And in Shabda Shakti Mooladhvani also you have such a similar division.
இல்ல அதுல வந்து கவிப்ரோட அந்த அதுல ரொம்ப இது கிடையாது, டிவிஷன்ஸ் ரொம்ப கிடையாது நமக்கு.
Okay.
இல்ல.
Fine.
It's just a simpler version, that's all.
Yeah.
The next one is Aprastutaprashamsa. We'll start this and look at just the இது அபரமுதா ஹரணம் அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம். Aprastutaprashamsa syat sa yatra prastutaashraya. Aprastutaprashamsa, you are describing only the aprastutam non-context. It depends on the fact that there is a prastutam, there is a context. So this has to connect with the context, even though the context is not explained in words. This non-context which is explained in words depends on the fact that we have to connect it to the context. Ada. So ekah kriti shakunteshu yo anyam shakrat na yachate. Ekaha kriti, only that one alone is kriti. It is successful, or அதுதான் வசத்தின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, that is the best. உத்தமஹா கஹா shakunteshu ekaha eva kriti vartate. Shakunteshu pakshishu, among birds, this is the only thing that is expert, because it does not ask from anybody other than Shakra, Indra. So Chataka bird is what he is talking about here. So the Chataka bird only looks at the Megham. Whenever Indra decides to rain, make the clouds rain, that is when they will get their aharam. So this Shakunta bird, among the birds, this Chataka bird is the only thing that is successful in its endeavor, because it only asks from Indra, which is Devendra, and he is capable of providing whatever the bird asks for. How it connects with the Prastuta Vrittantam, we'll see in the Vyakhyana. Aprastutasya prashamsa varnanam yatra prastuta ashraya prastuta vrittanta avagati paryavasayini sa aprastuta prashamsa. The description of a non-context, wherever a description of a non-context goes and ends in the understanding of your context. So prastutasya vrittantasya avagati paryantam gacchati tatra avagato paryavasayini. It goes and ends in the understanding of the contextual story. Then it is called Aprastutaprashamsa. So yatra prastuta vrittantau avagamana uddeshena aprastuta vrittantaha varnyate. Where aprastuta vrittantaha varnyate, a non-contextual story is described. with what in mind? The goal there, with this uddesha, that you have to understand. Avagamana uddeshena kutra prastuta vrittantam avagamana uddeshena. There is a goal to lead you towards understanding the context. That is why we are describing the non-context. In the all our proverbs mostly end up being that. Iti nishkarshaha. Shakunteshu pakshishu madhye yaha shakrat anyam indrat anyam prabhum na yachate saha ekaha chatakaha eva kriti kushalaha iti udaharanam. So among the birds, one who does not ask from any other Prabhu, any other Lord other than Indra, he alone, that Chataka bird alone is the most clever bird. Atra sarvabhaumam vina anyam kshudram prabhum na prarthaye iti abhimanashalinaha vrittantasya prastutasya pratyayanartham tat sadrisha Chataka vrittantaha varnitaha iti lakshana sangatihi. So the context here is a person who has a self-respect. He says, I will not ask anybody other than the greatest king. So let's assume that he is in a sabha and he wants to describe the king, but at the same time he is among people who are all similar, yachakas like him. There are a lot of people, or beggars. You may even think of an assembly of them also. So imagine everybody says, oh, I ask him, I will ask him, I will ask him. But then there is one person who says, unless it is the most richest, unless it is Tata or Ambani, I am not going to ask them. Something like that. He will point out and recognize only the richest person and ask him, so that his wish will never go futile. To indicate that context, he is saying, paravena ipdidan irukkanum abdingralla.
Modi and the vaazhapazhathula oosi ஏத்துறது, is that also like this?
So அதான் எல்லாமே நம்ம எந்த மாதிரி யூஸ் பண்றோம் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் பாயிண்ட். ரேண்டமா என்னால சொல்ல முடியாது வாழைப்பழத்துல ஊசி ஏத்தான் அப்படின்னா that becomes a nidarshana kind of thing, no?
Oh.
How are you describing it? அது பாயிண்ட் அங்க.
Okay.
The context, the context decides, huh?
Yeah, the context, the words decide, no?
What is how I didn't get this exactly.
இப்ப ஒருத்தன் சொல்றான், இல்ல it is only the non-context that should be said. There should be no reference to the context at all.
சரி,
அவன் பண்றது அவன் வாழைப்பழத்துல ஊசி ஏத்துறான். சரி, there is someone who is இந்த அடிப்போர்ல நெருப்பு வைக்கிறது, அதாவது இந்த மூட்டி விடுறது, அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு இல்லையா? நாரதர் காரியம் பண்றான் அப்படிங்கிறோம். லெட்ஸ் சே நாரதர் காரியம் பண்றான். நாரதஸ்ய காரியம் கரோதி அப்படிங்கிறோம்னா, that is not அப்ரஸ்துத பிரசம்சா, because you have சஹா யஹ பிரகிருதஹ.
Yes.
नारदस्य कार्यं करोति इति चेत् तत्र नारदः उपमानत्वेन वर्तते, परन्तु नारदस्य कार्यं साक्षात् अयं न करोति, तत्तु निदर्शनारूपेण भवति.
सत्यं. परन्तु यदि सा घटना तत्र चलति इति दृष्ट्वा, मित्रं दृष्ट्वा एषः वदति नारदः आगतः, तर्हि किम्?
अदु रूपकम्.
अदु रूपकम् एडु.
आगतः becomes the context there.
But that vaazhapazhathula oosi ஏத்துறது is like he is explaining something using which the person understands something relevant to it, relevant to himself, whatever the prakritam. So
and the himself ங்கிறது இருக்கணும். அங்க இருந்ததுன்னா கஷ்டம், ப்ராப்ளம். இல்லைன்னா நம்ம சொல்லலாம். இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். இப்போ யாரோ ஒருத்தர் ஏதோ சொல்றா, someone திட்றா வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். there is somebody is abusing someone. உடனே you are telling yourself, சூரியனை பார்த்து நாய் குலைக்கிறது. You say சூரியனை பார்த்து நாய், the dog barks at the moon அப்படிங்கிறோம். It's an expression in English also. சூரியனை பார்த்து நாய் குலைக்கிறது. This is a non-context.
Yeah.
So if only this aprakritam is said to someone, appo it is aprastuta prashamsa. If I have, oh, he is abusing me. Suryana paathu naai kolekkiradhu. Then I have a reference point of the context there.
Yeah.
Then it does not become aprastuta prashamsa. It is more like a substantiating. Arthantaranyasam aidum.
Okay.
It's a difficult. Nariya Niti Shatakamla vandu you can take it as aprastuta prashamsa.
Okay.
So iti abhimanashalinaha, for a person who has self-esteem, vrittantasya, prastutasya, that becomes the context. Pratyayanartham, in order to make us understand. Pratyayayati, pratyeti, one who understands. Pratyayanam is make somebody understand. So in order to make us understand the contextual episode of a person who has great self-esteem, tatsadrisha chataka vrittantaha varnitaha, the example of a chataka has been described here. Aprastutena prastuta avagatihi prastuta aprastutayoho sambandhe sati bhavati. How do you understand a context from the non-context? Only if there is a sambandha that exists between the prastutam and the aprastutam. And that sambandha, the relation between the context and the non-context, can be of different types. It can be sambandhascha, sarupyam, similarity, samanya vishesha bhavaha. Samanya is general and vishesha is particular. I can describe a particular incident of Chataka, and I can talk in general about an abhimani purushaha, abhimaninaha purushaha kidrisham pravartante iti. It can indicate a samanyam also, or karyakarana bhava, from the karyam and the karanam. But we are not going to read all of these examples. We will only read sarupyam. This is sarupyam. A person who is describing, and he is saying that he is similar, his vyavahara is similar to that of a Chataka bird.
Couldn't you just classify this whole thing as Dhwani instead of going as an alankara?
Never.
Why not?
Because it depends on the context needs it. You need the context here. In Dhwani. Context illada non-context lende eppadi Dhwani?
It has to lead to the understanding of the prastutam, right?
Dhwani, it is a nomenclature. Idu vandu pratiyamanartham. Aprastutam is the vachyartham. Pratiyamanam is your, that is which is suggested. Pratiyamanam is your prastuta.
Yes.
Ana, that is not chamatkara yuktam.
The chamatkara
and that prastutam also depends on this aprastuta.
So the chamatkara is in the vachya, basically.
Yes.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Ekakriti ityadi sarupya nibandhanayaha aprastuta prashamsayaha udaharanam. Samanya vishesha bhave samanyad visheshasya visheshat samanyasya chava avagatihi iti dvaividyam. Evam karyakaranah bhave api karyat karanasya karanat karyasya avagatihi. So here the karyat, when you say, or samanyat, whichever is in the panchami vibhakti, take that as the aprastuta. And vishesha, visheshasya, that which is in the shashti vibhakti, becomes your prastuta. Karanasya is the prastutam. Karanat karyasya iti chet karanat aprastutat karanat prastutasya karyasya avagatihi. Etesham chaturnam udaharanani anubandhe drashtavyani.
Anubandham nama appendix iti asti va?
Idliye ama appendix la irukku. We can do that next class. Seriya?
So how is it sarupyam? Okay, so he said that, okay, look, the bird is, this Chataka bird is like this, and so he's suggesting a aupamyam, right? Is that what he's calling a sarupyam?
Sarupya nibandhanana, you are actually superimposing in a way, and sarupatvat. Yes, it is an aupamya in that sense. Ama, appadi eduthukalam.
Okay, so it is that, okay, the upama sambandha is, okay, sarupyam, okay.
Ama. Okay.
So
the others we will see, so we will know the difference between sarupyam and then the others. When we see the example, it will be more clear.
So, aparam udaharanam aparam பார்க்கலாமா?
அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம்.